Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Zombie Grind podcast. We got a special guest here. His name's Chris Bianchi. You may know him by such legendary shows as Machine Gun Kelly, as the Yin Yang Twins, as Chip the Ripper, Kid Cudi, who else? The Black Dahlia Murder. The list goes on and on. Plus his management. He's a kick-ass person. And my cousin, actually, so pretty blessed with that. But here he is, Chris Bianchi.
Yeah, man, I'm super pumped to be on. Thanks a lot for having me, and I'm glad it's all working out well.
So, when was your first inspiration for music?
I'm trying to remember. When I was a kid, just watching MTV probably, really inspired me back in the days of like the 80s videos, 90s videos, and shit like that. So, that was probably where it started, was getting obsessed when MTV actually still played music.
Yeah, that's so true. So, in that debate of when MTV stopped playing music, when was it that you watched MTV and you were like, man, I'm done with this? What was on? Or was it like when TRL came on? Or
Yeah, I tuned in for the TRL series for a little while and stuff, like coming home from school, but beyond that, yeah, I don't know, it turned to like nothing but Road Rules and a bunch of other weird shit like that, and they stopped just playing any kind of good music.
Right.
I remember we had Headbangers Ball, and I think that was even MTV too, but yeah,
dude, that kicked ass.
Yeah, it turned really shitty though, and like, I don't know what year it was, but it's still shitty now.
But it just became either like that screaming crazy shit, or that drunken metal, I like to call it, where it's like they're screaming out like Evanescence and shit.
Right, exactly.
So who were your very first influences? Like, when it comes from a variety of people, then it finally forms to a certain genre of music. So who was it before? Like, for me, it was like, before like listening to heavy metal, it was Garth Brooks, Shania Twain.
Right. Yeah, some good stuff though still.
Yeah. And then like Puff Daddy and the Family, Master P, Tupac. And then heard I heard Slipknot in 7th grade, and that changed everything, and just went down a slope of Mudvayne and System of a Down, Korn, and Cold Chamber, and
right. No, I think that was the same for me. I don't know exactly what point it was, but I remember getting that Slipknot CD, and it was like fucking amazing. I couldn't even believe like reading the lyrics, and it said fuck, and every other word he said was
right.
fuck and stuff, and it was the best back then, which I think now like you almost can't find it anymore. But back in those times, it was like the last of the days where like you could be dangerous in a way to parents, and parents were like, no, you're not getting that CD. No, it says parental advisory. They got these scary dudes on it, all this stuff. Now parents really don't give a fuck because it's just so wide open. There's nothing to shock people anymore.
Yeah. Dude, do you have a story with the parental advisory thing, like where your parents were, a particular time where your parents were like, you can't listen to that, look at that, it says, you see that label, you know what it means?
Parental advisory.
Yeah.
When I was, I don't know what age group it was, but when that stuff started coming out more, I remember like going to the CD store back when this is our days, and you remember, but Rolling Acres, they used to have like, I don't know what CD store was over there back then, but there was even tapes in the early days. But my mom would take me there sometimes if it wasn't like fucking Kmart or Hills or wherever. And then they started having the parental advisory, explicit content or explicit lyrics.
Yeah.
And she would like, at first she didn't really know, but then after I would start trying to buy the stuff, she'd be like, no, what is this? You can't get this. No, this isn't for, kids basically. So I don't know. I remember that coming in and happening, but that just made kids want it more. Like, I'm gonna get this somehow.
Same here. And like one of the more explicit ones I saw, like I remember I got it at Kmart, was
Really?
Cottonmouth Kings. And I
Nice.
can't remember the name of the album, but it was just like a bunch of bong smoke and like marijuana leaves, and I was just like, man, this is crazy, I gotta listen to it. And luckily I was able to get it home, and My mom heard it and she's like, "You can't listen to that no more." But when my brother
Nice.
when my brother got Kid Rock's first album and Limp Bizkit's Significant Other, we blasted it and they heard it and they said, "Bring it down, downstairs." And
Did they?
yeah, and they were like, "Put that on, we want to hear it." And when he's like, I can't think when the little dude's like, "I'm 3 foot inch with the 9-inch,"
Oh yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, that's it. You see the label? That's what it means. No more, no
You're
more."
shut down.
And they broke it in front of us. And, yeah,
They broke it.
yeah.
Damn parents,
Yeah.
always shutting kids down back in the day.
How many times have you seen the genre change in your season time in the music industry? Like,
Yeah.
and do you have a favorite genre of like, not genre, but like a way that people were like, there was a scene age and there was like,
Mm-hmm.
the age where the girls would wear like big old granny glasses. But yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I think I can remember going through like 3, maybe 4 different phases of scene, because the one I remember getting into in like 7th grade was like, they called it the hardcore scene, but it really wasn't hardcore, because hardcore was like
hardcore, yeah.
the New York Madball that was like real hardcore, that kind of HXC people.
Yeah.
But then the other hardcore that we learned was like Norma Jean and Every Time I Die and Fear Before.
That's what
and,
I was thinking of when you
yeah,
said
like the
it.
Bled, and even Under Oath was like considered that back then and stuff in their early days. So like that's what all the kids were into, and that slowly shifted then into metalcore, so it became heavier. And then metalcore was like the Unearth era, the fucking Through the Eyes of the Dead era. As I Lay Dying came out, like that era
Job
came.
for Cowboy. That was like one of my favorite times. Like,
Yeah.
Job for Cowboy, like all those bands.
All of them, and that's when that started
Suicide
coming.
Silence.
And they started getting more and more heavy from there, though, because it went from like the metalcore into then, I guess Through the Eyes of the Dead was early and stuff, but then it did start going into like the Job for the Cowboys more, and the Carnifexes, and Whitechapel got huge, and fucking Impending Doom, and it started getting more heavy and more. Beneath the Massacre came out, then knocked everybody off the radar. They just fucking
That was
owned
just
it.
amazing. And we saw Beneath the Massacre live, and they played it just like that. It was crazy.
Yeah. But then the next shift that I can remember seeing from that era, if you think about it, then it moved into what I called the Sumerian era. Every band, dude, had a gent kind of vibe, or like this kind of thing going. They all were on like Sumerian. It was all Born of Osiris-y vibe, gent core, all this stuff. But it was its own whole era of stuff. To now, it's just kind of scattered. Like, I don't feel like there is really like a new movement at this current time, because I feel like it ended with that Sumerian era where it was After the Burial, fucking North, or whatever this. Who else was on it? Periphery came up.
Yeah.
Fucking Born of Osiris.
August Burns Red. Salt the Wound.
And after that came, now there's not really been anything.
I mean, your
next.
band did too, Forever in Terror.
Yeah.
I mean, that
was like the metalcore era.
Yeah. But you guys were a staple in that time too.
It was fun.
What have you been up to lately that you want to tell people about?
Well, honestly, hoping that at some point concerts are going to come back, so the bands that we work with can get back out on the road and fucking play some shows and do some stuff like that. But that's really about it. I mean, just been planning for 2021. I got a ton of releases coming out for bands. So, I mean, we got to line up like the marketing and the promotion and the photos and the music and all the stuff, so it keeps us busy. But I still just miss concerts.
People don't realize how much goes into just shows and everything else. It's not just like a phone call and then just set up and play. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, and the worst part too is it takes like, for a good tour, it's like booked 6 months in advance or something pretty long. So I mean, you spend all that time in advance hoping it can happen, and then it goes 6 months and they're like, no, there's no concert. So you literally spend months of work and time and all this effort for $0 fucking dollars. You make no money at all for hours of free work, and that part sucks.
Yeah, it's rewarding seeing like live acts. It never gets old for me seeing bands live and concerts and
right. No, that's something that, I mean, over the last like 2 years, I kind of am mad at myself about, because I'm usually, I mean, I'm not so busy every single waking minute, but I'm usually so busy helping all the other bands do stuff to stay on track, because they're everywhere, that I haven't had enough time to like go to as many concerts as I wanted to, or, you know, enjoy them myself. So that's something when they do come back, I told myself, like, I'm going to try to go no matter what to like one concert a month, even if it's nothing crazy, like at least get out, go, you know, one or two concerts a month just to go, something. Even if I'm feeling lazy or whatever, like I don't care. I am going, you know, just to go and support. So
that's cool. Yeah, COVID's going to change a lot of things for people when things go back to normal. Do you think things ever will go back to normal? Like, what is normal once this gets so far out?
Right. I don't know. It's hard to say what's going to be coming. Fucking really hard to say. I hope normal will... I mean, probably in like a year or two is what... I mean, I hope it doesn't take that long, but I feel like that's when the kind of like dust will settle of this whole thing, you know, and then people will kind of start looking back on it, hopefully, you know, and just kind of be like, oh man, remember those fucking, that year or two? Oh, that was the worst times, basically, for numerous reasons. But fuck, man, it's been rough. I don't know. Just weird. I don't know, man. The whole thing's just been weird. Fucking, I'm a conspiracy kind of guy too. I mean, I don't think the shit's made up or anything, but there's so many loopholes and things you can look into, and wormholes, I mean, or, you know, dig into and get lost forever.
It's true, but they say that the crazy ones are the ones that you need to listen to, because why is it that when shit really does go down, you look at the crazy people and you're like, fuck, they knew all along.
Right. Prepare in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the older I get, the less I believe the media. It doesn't mean I constantly, like, challenge everything, like, no, I know that's a lie, oh, I know they're fucking lying, you know. I'm not like that kind of guy, but I just, like, you know, take it with a grain of salt, read into the parts that make sense. And I mean, everybody's got like an agenda. It doesn't matter if they're the news or if they're a government or the president or, you know, anybody somewhere. So I mean, I just keep that in mind too, of whatever they're doing.
Yeah. And you just gotta live your best life and live every day to the fullest and party, right? Gotta party. Gotta let loose from time to time. It's important.
Yeah, and get stoned. Can you say that live on your podcast, live on air? Get stoned.
Woo! 420 friendly. What's it like meeting your idols and celebrities and stuff when you do go to big concerts or even become friends with them?
Kind of cool, kind of weird. The thing that I found the most about any of them, even like bigger people, is most of them just seem super normal and chill. You know, it's like, I mean, you kind of put on that persona for like the public because it's a part of your job at that point, but most of them seem pretty chill. And then there's a few of them, I can't name like tons off the top of my head, but there's been a few that like live the persona too much to where like they believe the bullshit, you know, they kind of believe their own bullshit and think like, no, I am the fucking biggest and, you know, the best ever. Yeah. And like, if you believe that, that's kind of messed up. If you know and can separate, you know, I'm a rock star, but you can still be normal to friends and your people and stuff. I don't know. But I don't know. It's cool to meet them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have an ego like in that stuff. You gotta know when to cool it. It's not good to have an ego all the time because that's how people lose it all, really.
Right. I think if there's one band I still would really, really love to meet, though, and be like the most excited ever, which could be a standard answer for a lot of rockers, but Kiss. I never got to meet them, but I still hope like if they're gonna play like this last tour at some point, I can try to meet them or something, because that's like my idol still of like number one. I just love Kiss. Dude,
anything can happen. You just gotta start planning it now and just kind of coordinate it to like how you're gonna get backstage, how you're gonna get to them. Get the mapping of the concert venue.
Go full out.
Get the blueprint.
Jump fences.
Listen to Mission Impossible music.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
You know, I'm sure at their age they wouldn't mind meeting people anymore. Like, it's not like they're so popular anymore. They can just be like, yeah, whatever.
Right, and be mean to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that, man, again, that's the craziest shit if you think about it too, is the age of some of the oldest rockers. Like, Ozzy. I'm pretty sure Ozzy is 71 years old. And I think Gene Simmons is 70 or 71.
That's young. I thought they'd be in their
crazy.
80s by now. The guy from Rolling Stones is 1,002.
Right, and he's still ripping it up. But even those guys, they're 72. So, they're... How the hell can you be 70? It's legit hard enough even as 25. I remember playing shows at 25 some days. I'd be so tired, when it'd be really hot in Florida or whatever. But being 71 and doing a 3-hour concert, just still kicking ass, is the fucking craziest shit ever. I hope when I'm older, if I can make it to be even 50, 60, I still want to play. I don't care if I'm playing in concerts, but I still want to hopefully be rocking, my whole life.
Right.
Like them.
Right. Yeah, I pretty much known you your whole life. We've pretty much known each other our whole lives. And I can definitely safely say you've been rocking your whole life, and rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy for your success. It's great. So what are some of your hobbies that you like to do?
I personally like to listen to podcasts of different kinds and to research different kinds of business stuff, because there's so many facets that you can always learn, that interest me from, anything from marketing, and there's a billion different lanes of marketing. It's like music genres, you peel back one layer, you say rock, but just rock is not one layer. There's a billion, things you can go into, and that's the same with marketing, social media marketing, building a business, earning business credit, how you can set yourself up for the next 5 years, 10 years. So I try to kind of dabble in all these little things that interest me, basically, and from different sources, and I find that is a really good hobby, because it's not always a business mind, but it's what worked for this guy, and I'll check out their podcast, or maybe read a little book or watch some videos, or it helps me feel inspired still to keep trying things too, instead of just being content, sitting there oh well, I guess I have a business, it's cool, it's always want to keep driving for more.
Yeah, and that's I don't know, on that subject of improving yourself, I don't know what's the mainstream right now, if it's more just listening to all these gurus, or if it's actually putting action towards it, or who to listen to or who not to listen to, because everyone seems like they're a guru, or if you have a lot of money, or if you're ditzy enough, you think you're a guru.
Especially on Instagram and stuff, there's fucking 10 people a week that send me a message, hey, do you want to grow your marketing, do you want to make these big dollars and all this stuff, and all those people. It's the same thing though, if you think about it, that's been going on in other places forever, from mail scams, from multi-level marketing schemes, to pyramid schemes, to now they've just transferred those things basically digitally to online. It's the same bullshit. So that's always been around and happening, but I don't know. I just look in the proof of the pudding of the people, it doesn't matter. I don't even care if you sell books and you're a New York Times bestseller. That doesn't mean shit to me. I care if you're yeah, I can teach you to be the best marketing guy ever, and you fucking prove it. You're here's my numbers. I've reached 100 billion people through my marketing. Or, real estate. That's why I like Grant Cardone, but real estate, he talks shit, but he's I'm a $1 billion fucking real estate mogul. Proves it, because he can go show you 20 different apartment brand new complexes that are named after him, Cardone Estates, and he's got $1 billion portfolio. So he has proven the concept beyond talking the shit, for sure, proven it beyond. I'm just using that as an example, but so I like people that prove their concept in some way, because there's a lot of good talkers, but it doesn't mean they fucking do it.
I do I'm not on I was with him before the bandwagon, I just say that, but Gary Vee, I like him, he's cool. But now he's super popular. Oh, right, Eric Thomas, he's cool. Yeah, that's what you want. You want people that actually put, their feet to the ground running.
Yeah, that prove it.
I think we're pretty good here in the podcast.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I had a good time, and good luck with everything.
Yeah, man. People be sure to tune in and subscribe to his podcast and stuff.
All right, guys. The Zombie Grind Podcast. Peace out.